Squarepusher is the working name of Tom Jenkinson from Essex. He is an electronic music creator, producer, and bassist, and he has produced 18 albums so far, with the first being in 1996. Hi, my name's Dan. This is my second album review that I'm doing today, and these two albums couldn't be more different. And what this demonstrates, for me at least, I hope for you, is that the world of music is a wonderful place. This list that I've got, which is a list of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, is hugely varied. And I'd like to invite you to join me on this journey of exploring this list of 3,000 albums. Easiest way for you to do that is to subscribe. Come and join me and click on the thing that means you get notified whenever I put a new video up. If you're new to this album, or if you know this album well, I'd love to know what you think of it. Please put your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like what I've done, if you click the like, that'll give me an encouragement. So this was Squarepusher's first album, first full-length album. He'd done some EPs before this. And when I read up on it on Wikipedia, quite a bit of the content there seems to be exploring exactly where it fits in the gamut of electronic music. And what I don't want to do is spend a lot of, well, really any time on that. Just to say, it's electronic music. I'm not as concerned with the fine gradations of different genres within that as some people might be. I'm more interested in description. But I would like to say that there seems to have been a really rich vein of electronic stuff in the 90s in Britain. And there's all sorts of amazing stuff to discover. I'm sure there's a whole lot of stuff that was substandard as well at the same time. Thankfully, this list is great, so I get to hear the good ones. And it's probably worth mentioning that although he didn't act as a producer, the guy whose working name is Aphex Twin was involved with this album as well. And I've heard some Aphex Twin, and I can hear the similarities. The thing that he did apparently was choose which tracks from the recording sessions that actually went onto the album, maybe a few other things. So, right, description. And this is where it does get a bit harder. The dominant thing here is the drum beats, and the what I expect from something called drill and bass, which is beats that are drum patterns that are very intricate and very fast. So they're kind of tripping along, and there's obviously been a lot of work gone into making them exactly which beat is going where. I don't know how much this is done from samples of individual drum hits and how much of it is done from patterns of drumming and building up from there. And there's a variety of ways that these are used then on the album. So there's some stuff that I would say sounds like what maybe I think of as jungle, which is just beats, really, with, some variation going on in there. There's some other stuff where, there's not beats all the time. There's a few bits where it's kind of washy bits of synth sounds. Often it sounds quite lo-fi when that's being done. But the dominant thing here really is a kind of cross between these drill beats and jazz fusion, in which I think the name that really comes to mind is Weather Report. But it's kind of jazzy chords, and it's kind of light music, often kind of with suspended notes in the chords and held notes. And the kind of third feature that goes together, so we've got the drill beats, we've got the jazz chords and the kind of jazz sequences, And then the third feature is the bass, and the bass is interesting, very, very good. I play bass a bit myself, and this guy is excellent. Is a technically very strong bassist, who reminds me of a guy called Mick Karn, who was the bassist for Japan, who then did I don't know if it was a one-off project, but certainly a short project, a band called Dallas Car, and used a lot of what a string player would call double stopping, playing two notes at once, and is using a fretless bass and is very melodic kind of bass stuff. And this guy Squarepusher is able to do that. He does other bass styles as well, but that's one that really comes out for me. So we've got these three things going together. We've got these drill beats, we've got these jazz chords, and we've got this interesting fretless bass sound going on. So it's different. The thing that if you're listening to it, kind of for the first time, that will probably really give you an impression will be the beats, and I know they're not to everybody's taste. The overall feel of it, sometimes there's bits that feel a bit kind of dark and menacing. More of the time it seems kind of airy and open. Sometimes it's kind of funky. There's a nice little bit that I'm going to play at the end, which is a nice funky bit, and kind of light. And it's varied, it's interesting, but it is a bit specialist, really, in terms of who we might appeal to. Do you know this album? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. That's it from me for now.